come to save the day.
The Mighty House crew is on the job. This is
Mighty House.
All right, we're back, and today we're just going to be answering questions from the listeners or the viewers or wherever you happen to find us. YouTube, your viewers, but if on one of the podcasts, you might be listening. So we've got questions for you. But first, let's click on that bell and hit that subscribe button. That way you get notified next time that we post something. And first up, we've been getting questions and stuff from listeners and our viewers. So we figured let's go ahead and answer a few of these and cover some pretty common topics that we get anyway. So the first one here is they had an energy audit, and they have a brick home with no insulation in the walls. So that's probably a Chicago house that's got the brick 1x2 and then plaster up against it, so there's no room to get insulation into it either, which makes it very cold in the winter. And according to the guys that did the energy audit, this is a leading cause of the heat loss due to no air sealing in the attic and not enough insulation up there. They claim cold air is flowing down the walls and from the ceiling around the top plate and getting around down into the basement. And they say that adding cellulose should help a lot with it. Seems to make sense. I have a couple of insulation companies recommended by them, and the cost seems to be about $4,000. Seems like a lot of money. Is it really going to be worth it?
It really depends on access, right? So we talk about this a lot. Spending money on insulation is not necessarily, you're not going to get the bang for your buck. If you've got a lot of airflow, which a blower door test shows you, then putting insulation up there increases your air filters.
Yes.
So you might have cleaner air coming down your walls, and it might slow it down, but it's not fixing the problem. So air sealing is important.
Yes.
But the old Chicago bungalows, particularly, were 2 white thick walls, so 2 courses, right?
Right.
So every 6 or 8 rows, you had the header course. That was your wall tie.
Right.
So once you get up there, the rafters and ceiling joists might have been 2x4, 2x6 max. So you really can't get out to that edge to air seal really well. Mm-hmm. So that might be a difficult one to fix completely with air sealing, which would be the best way to go. But I don't know, short of cutting the drywall out or the plaster, say 1 foot back from all the exterior walls, and then getting in there and spray foaming to air seal and then patching all that, that's probably your best bet. Would that be more than $4,000? Probably.
Yep. Well, and the way our insulation guy does it, they have vacuums, and we vacuum out those areas, and then the spray foam is on a long wand. So then you just take the wand down there and you spray it out that way. Now that's going to be probably even more than the $4,000 because there's a lot of closed cell foam that then gets put around the outside of the house, and then you would spray the basement the same way and air seal that, and then anywhere where there's plumbing pipes or anything coming up through the house and into the attic, you want to air seal all those with closed cell foam also. And now if you go ahead
I can see doing that.
And then air insulate over
that, and yes, your number might still go up, but particularly in those old homes, one of the things, and we looked into these years ago, we talked about it, was buying gaskets for your cover plates.
Yeah.
Because a lot of time you have that airflow that is coming from your attic, dropping down the furring along the brick and going into the basement.
Right.
But there's a lot of it that's leaking into your main living area through the switches and outlets. So putting gaskets on cover plates and stuff can actually reduce that by 30-40%. Then you can actually air seal in the basement because the air works pretty simple, right? If air is falling down, it has to have replacement air, or it has to push air out. So if you can air seal everything where you can access it, you can't add any more air. So you can stop that. I guess that's not a convection current. Is that an anti-convection current?
Yeah.
If it's cold air falling?
Right.
Warm air rises?
Yeah. I don't know. And then if you look, a lot of times we'll be doing outlets, and you'll go to take it apart, and you'll see these like whiffs of dirt around the outside edge of the plate. And that's where the air's just been leaking out around it. And then you pop them off, and then you can really feel the cold air coming through there.
So I think that to answer this listener's question as best we can. I can't say there's a right way or wrong way without going up in the attic and looking around, but I think that you're absolutely right. Cleaning all the insulation out of the attic, going up there and spray foaming the perimeter as best you can, then going back with our 30 bats is a good modified system.
Right.
And then air seal in the basement as best you can, but it's the same thing. You still need the blower door. I mean, is it coming through the windows? Is it coming through the casings around the jambs and casings around the windows? I mean, you really do need to do the whole thing at once.
Right. And you can start picking away at stuff. If he's had the audit, usually these audit companies will give you a best bang for the buck, and then you kind of work towards the more expensive things that don't pay off as well. And if you have older windows with the weight pockets, and there's no way you can insulate those because then you can't open and close your windows.
Operate the windows.
So they are open like that and do a lot of, do let a lot of air in. So call an energy auditor. They should give you a good list of how to address this and give you a good starting point. To me, $4,000 didn't sound bad to do a standard Chicago bungalow. But
well, when you figure what your heating costs are, whether it's gas or electric, your payback could be less than 2 years.
Right.
Right. I mean, if you can cut your bills in half.
Right.
And a lot of times you can. That's what people don't realize. It's a sales technique. I can say, oh, I can cut your bills in half and I can do this. But when you do the blower door test to start, you do the work based on the numbers, and then you go back again and do a second blower door test, and you've cut your airflow down by 80%, I'm pretty sure you're going to see some good numbers.
Yep.
And that's what we do.
Yes, and it makes a big difference to go ahead and pay for that energy audit and really find out where all that air leakage is coming from. So I think it works really good. It's a great opportunity, and for $4,000, I would say 2 to 3 years you're gonna get your money back for sure. We did one house where their average bills were $500 a month. We took a lot of stuff during the remodel. We air sealed everything. We used closed cell foam in the attic on the backside because we made that living space. We foamed in the basement and sealed that all in. We ended up taking that from $500 a month gas bill down to $100 a month. So that makes a big difference.
So that's what I'm saying. So if at $4,000, if you can save $400 a month, you're talking 10 months, 10 heating months.
Right.
So it's kind of a no-brainer, but a lot of people are, well, I'm going to probably sell the house anyway. Well, then you probably won't do it, but would you like to enjoy it while you live there?
Right, and it makes a big difference. It really does. Everybody that we've ever done this for couldn't believe what kind of a change it made in their home and how more comfortable it was.
Yeah, when I used to do, I didn't do like sunrooms, and I put houses on houses, and I've literally doubled the sizes of people's homes and cut their bills down.
Yes.
By doing exactly that. Going into the older portion of the home, finding where the air leakage is and where all the problems are, and not, because we're building to a different standard on the new stuff.
Sure.
But if you go back and you fix all the stuff in the old,
while it's open,
comfortable.
Yeah, makes a huge difference.
Lower their bills, double the size of the house, and lower their bills at the same time.
It's a beautiful thing.
It's a good feeling. It's a beautiful thing.
All right, so get the insulation, get the air sealing first, and make sure you get that energy audit. That way you're taken care of, and it's a great way to quantify all the work that you're going to be doing to make your home more energy efficient and more comfortable. So
absolutely,
that's what we call affordable housing, right? When you can afford to live in the house.
Yes.
There you go. All right. With that, we'll be back next time. We've got some more questions, so we're going to go ahead and fire through a couple of these and check in with next time. We'll have some more questions for you. And here's a very important thing, Rich. If you've got a question, send it to rich@mightyhouse.net because he loves answering these. So go ahead and fire them off to Rich.
I just got to admit, I've been out of the habit of checking. I probably.
So you probably got a bunch in there.
Yeah.
All right. There you go. So we'll see it. Wait. Keep it square and level.
Until next time.
Until next time. There you go. Almost forgot about that.
Got away with that. $4,000
on the back of your shirt.
Yeah. And air seal.
Wow. And air seal. So bad?
No, not at all. That's perfect. And you can hear Rich's drink in the background.